Well, it looks like it's time to get on the road again with episode 21 of the Rusty and Jan Show.
This week we'll be talking with Marion Halliday.
And we'll also have a discussion about going on tour.
Yes, I suspect Marion can help us out with that one.
That's right. She's got something coming up. She's going to tell us all about it. Should be exciting. We'll also keep you up to date with all of the events happening within our community. People are starting to get gigs and stuff. So, it's kind of fun to see it all happening.
Absolutely. And of course, we'll hear from George over at Malilani, which will be bringing the open mic back indoors starting this Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, if you're ready, let's get started with
The Rusty and Jan Show.
When the world comes crashing down on us, they're always there, and they're always happy company because they care. Oh, yes, they care. And when you need to take out pain, well, no one else will do. Dial the phone or go on Zoom. Thank God there are friends like you. I said, thank God there are friends like you.
Our song of the week is by Richard Hopkinson.
Yes, it's called Be Water, based on the inspirational words of Bruce Lee.
Anyway, this is a song called Be Water. It was written after watching documentaries and reading a book about Bruce Lee called Be Water, My Friend. And I actually think he wrote it. So anyway, here goes, and Be Water by me. Bruce Lee's philosophy for the art was the same for life. Building bridges to address the gap with opponents, dreams, ideas, love, and life. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. Has unique qualities, it takes any shape. Never a direct hit, it cannot break. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. Take the mantle of self, you are your own fuel, light, healing, and energy. Shift your perspective and change your path, then summon your courage to walk on. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. The softest substance crushes and mends, formless and shapeless, flows and bends. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. No limitation has limitation. Living east meets west. Don't accept another's image of you, using no way as way. Self-actuation, find what is worthy about you and then express it. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. I may die someday without fulfilling my ambitions. sorrow. What I have done, I've done with sincerity, honesty to my best. I can't find, expect more from life. I did what I wanted to do. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. Be water, everybody.
And now it's time for Going Out with Rusty and Jan. Welcome to Going Out with Rusty and Jan. We are excited to announce the upcoming guest for our show. On June 28th, we will talk with Kathy Quinn. Then on July 5th, we'll feature Jay Singing Spirit Cunningham. And on July 12th, we'll interview Rick Page.
Yes, some of our friends from Massachusetts. Mililani Cafe is continuing to have outdoor performances, so let's make sure you support the artist and have some of George's delicious food. Here are some upcoming shows. Saturday, June 26th, from 2 to 5, will feature Deborah and Dave's Jazz and Blues Cabaret. And
That's a mouthful.
I know, really. And on Sunday, June 27th, Steve Simon and his son Sean will perform from 1 to 4. Please contact Jan if you're interested in scheduling a show at Mililani.
We tried something a little different for our open mic this last Thursday. But this week we'll be back to our usual format, including online sign-ups. One exciting change is that we're going back inside.
Yay!
We'll have outdoor seating with access to a television so that people who are not quite comfortable with going inside yet can watch everything on Zoom.
Yeah, so you'll be able to be inside and see it or outside and see it. So you'll be able to evaluate it from both sides.
Okay.
Here are the festivals that we are aware of so far. Falcon Ridge Folk Festival will have a one-day outdoor hybrid event on July 31st in Goshen, Connecticut. We're still waiting for some final details, but you can also check them out at falconridgefolk.com in the meantime. And if you find anything out, then comment or email us or something so we know too.
Yep, we're still waiting to hear what their hybrid festival is going to mean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Philadelphia Folk Festival will also have a hybrid event this year, and it will take place from August 21st to the 22nd. It'll feature live concerts at the Spring Mountain Ski Area with a maximum of 1,000 audience members. There won't be any camping in person this year. Instead, they're going to do as they did last year and offer virtual campsites. For more details, visit www.pfs.org.
Yeah, and I would encourage you to set up your own Zoom rooms if you've been able to get things up and running that way. We had a great time last
We
year.
absolutely
at Folk Fest. Yeah, it wasn't what we wanted it to be. It's not going to be what we would like it to be, but it's about each other. And if we do this in an alternative manner, we can still have each other and celebrate the special event.
And we're hoping to be able to return to the farm next year for the 60th.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
How are you going to keep them down on the farm after they've gone virtual?
Oh my God.
X-Fest will take place in person at the Country Creek Winery on September 17th and 18th. Their volunteer registration page is now open at www.xsfmusic.org.
We're planning an event this fall to film scenes for the completion of a video for Rusty's songs, Pop's Train. This will tentatively take place on September the 25th, and we're envisioning a picnic-style event which will include jamming and other family-friendly activities We really hope that you'll join us and possibly take part in some of the filming. And as soon as we have more details on that, we'll let you know.
Yeah, so keep in mind this is pre-Beatles, so as far as the dress that you might want to go for, it shouldn't be that hard. So. PFS Fall Fling will happen in person October 1st through the 3rd with limited attendance in Green Lane, Pennsylvania.
And now it's time to see what George is cooking up at Maloney Cafe. It's time for George's Corner.
Hey everybody, and welcome to George's Corner. I'd like to thank Rusty and Jan for having me on the show again. We had a wonderful weekend of music, and Thursday we had an open mic. This week we're trying to transition back to Malilani side with our open mic. So we're going to try to have a hybrid inside-outside open mic. We're going to have the TV, and we're also it's going to be a hybrid with having virtual and live performances. So we're going to put the TV outside. We're just trying to make that move indoors soon. So I've been painting, getting the cafe ready for that. And then this weekend, we're also like to Nina Streets Designs is the store that's opening next to me on Sunday this week. So we're having a kind of like a little block party with music and stuff. I'd love for you guys to come out. There's going to be prizes and giveaways and sampling. I'm also launching a new menu on Sunday. It's Korean barbecue. It's called Bops. So you guys got to come check this out, all right? So Sunday, and we also have music on Saturday, and then we have 1 to 4, and the party on Sunday is 1 to 6, and open mic is 6:30 to 9:30 on Thursday. All right, bye.
And now it's time for Head to Head with Rusty and Jan. So, Jan, now that the pandemic's winding down, don't you feel like getting on the road again?
Yes, I'm ready if you are.
I'm ready. Well, that we are planning some short excursions, and I think that's what most of us are doing this summer, kind of inching our way out again from under the threat of COVID. So I think we'll be going to the shore and doing some other things, and we'll let you know where we're going to be, and we can hang out. It'll be fun and jam. So.
And there's always the shore. We will also be going down for Pop's train celebration.
Yes, that's going to be at Tuckahoe Station. So mark your calendars for September 25th, and we'll celebrate the Pennsylvania seashore line as we make a video of Pop's train. We would just love for you to hang out with us and be part of this. Well, it's going to be a special day for me, so I'd like to share it with you.
It's going to be fun.
What would also be fun is if we get to go on tour to Florida.
Or maybe the West Coast.
Oh, or the moon. Some people are going to the moon. Yes, this Musk guy, he's taking applications.
No.
No?
No, too cold.
How about Florida?
How about California?
Okay. We're looking into establishing relationships with venues along the 95 corridor. We want to find folk-friendly accommodations, fun places to visit and eat at venues to build relationships that will happen along the way. We've kind of started this with our Thursday night virtual open mic, where we had visitors from Florida, California, and most recently, Massachusetts.
If we can continue to establish some virtual open mic contacts along the path, we could begin to form a travel network that we can all enjoy.
Not to mention finding cost effective alternatives to expensive hotels. One of them that I recently discovered is similar to the movie Nomadland. It's about travelers who form small communities of RVs and small vehicles. Some musicians have found them to be a safe stop for traveling, as they are usually very welcoming and accepting of travelers like themselves. I'm sure that if you broke out some Grateful Dead, their campfire would be warm and inviting. Good luck with that Google search, and let us know how you did.
Yeah. Another suggestion came from Quincy Stallworth, who's involved in a network of house concerts throughout the country.
Yes, this really calls for the importance of pre-planning an event like this. If you're going out on the road, the more you can plan ahead of time, the better off you're going to be. I would encourage you to contact campgrounds and negotiate accommodations if you can in return for your musical services. Don't sell yourself short. People can be very welcoming of someone who really knows how to sing a song.
And then, if all else fails, you can find many like minded travelers at the local Walmart. They usually don't mind selling you your first cup of coffee of the day. And we have met many friendly fellow Americans in this setting.
The one thing that I would make this work is if we plan this together. I'll be contacting people. You can contact people if you know people. So let's build something that we can be proud of and enjoy.
Yes, if you've made relationships with family or friends along the 95 path, please introduce us and we will do the same for you.
Yes, and with any luck, we can all meet at Key West and have a big jam session and watch Jan in her bikini.
Oh boy. Here's some information from a fellow traveler. We'd like to introduce Marion Halliday as she sets out on her own tour.
This is how the interview went. Well, here's another person who seemed to stumble into the Melanie Cafe one day, and we didn't really know her very well, and it's been more than a few years ago. And we've also watched her involve herself in many other circles and get respect from not only the Philadelphia community, but people on the East Coast and about to be in many other places. So I think there's a lot to listen to from this lady about how to tour. So I give you
Marion Halliday.
Thank you for that introduction.
Oh,
I think I want to take you with me when I go on tour.
please
Have
do.
you
This
the
woman's
intro
driving
for
me crazy.
Give me some cred. Well, it's great to be here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Sure,
Thank
sure.
you. It's good to have you.
Oh, yeah.
So, getting to our questions, you seem like you come from a musical family. Your sister plays fiddle, is it? Is that correct?
She would say it's not fiddle, but violin. But yeah,
Violin.
yeah. My sister plays violin. My oldest brother is a concert pianist, a professional pianist who has conducted orchestras and
Oh,
all
wow.
sorts of things. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm not actually sure how he would identify because he does so many things, but at sort of a super caliber level. And then my sister Jane is a professional violinist, but she also plays other instruments. So
Now I heard the difference between a fiddle and a violin is that a violin has a curved bridge and a fiddle has a flat one.
well, now I did not know that.
Well, I
But
don't even know if it's true. I just
I'll
heard
tell
that.
you something funny. One of our funniest experiences when we were out on the road somewhere was showing up at Ron Olesko. He doesn't even know this story. I don't know if you know who Ron Olesko
Yeah,
is.
sure we do.
Wonderful DJ up in New York. And it was February, really cold. Or maybe it was not February. I guess we were coming back from NERFA, so maybe it was November. Really cold. And speaking of bridges, we get out of the car. It's 10 minutes before we're supposed to go on air, so there's not a lot of time. Jane and I have been a little grumpy because that's what sisters get together. And I'm pulling her thing out of the car and I put her case down, I think a little too abruptly. We walk inside the studio and that bridge has collapsed.
Oh, no.
It's like looking at something that's been murdered. It's like this dead violin. And I'm about to have a stroke. I'm so freaked out because we're supposed to go on air now in 7 minutes. And Jane's like nonchalantly, oh no, I'll just put it back together. So I don't know if it was a flat or a curved bridge, but all I know is she was able to get it going. And I was like,
that's good.
Yeah.
I remember one time we were at Folk Fest, and some guy was there, and we're all about to jam, and he opened up his guitar, only to see that his bridge came unattached from the. I know, so I felt so bad for him.
oh my God, yeah. So I don't know what the difference though is between bluegrass and Jane actually is a very well regarded gypsy jazz violinist, and she plays a lot of classical, but she has been teaching the last few years at a local university in Kentucky. And one of the classes she teaches, I believe, is a bluegrass class, but she's always quick to say she doesn't do fiddle. Like she feels humble and like she can't say that she does fiddle, but I think she does. So
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what about your musical beginnings?
I grew up in a family where there was nonstop music, and I'm the youngest of 5 kids. So I don't know about you guys. Birth order does really have an impact on where we go in life, you know. And so my oldest brother, the concert pianist, I mean, my earliest memories, he's 10 years older, was just the sound of him playing scales all day, day and night. So I grew up listening to a lot of great classical music. And I also was very involved in the church for many, many years, Episcopal Church, with a really high quality music program where we did a lot of singing. Well, Jan, you probably play a lot of classical. Benjamin Britten, you know, all of the really good vocal ensemble sort of things. And so I grew up loving that kind of music. So if you know me now, you know I love to sing harmony. And one of the hardest transitions as a solo artist is like I can't harmonize with myself. So I miss that.
Yeah, I know. I definitely do too. I mean, that's a big part of our new band, Flute 66. We can finally do a 3 and 4 part.
Well, and I'm obnoxious. I'm one of your listeners who likes to harmonize with you guys when you're playing because
I just love that.
it lends itself to
The
it.
best. Oh yeah, absolutely. Harmonies. I'm a son of a barbershop quartet singer, so harmony is something that I can't live without that.
Yeah, and aren't you? I don't know when you all learned to read music, but I'm so grateful. I'm sure I learned to read music when I was very young because I just always remember knowing how to read music. But I was always singing different parts in choir. Like for many years as an adult, I would sing tenor as well as up to soprano. I have a
Okay.
big range. And when you can read all those, the lower clef and everything else, it's a gift. It's a real
So it
gift.
was SABT, right? When you
Yeah,
sing.
yeah.
Well, you know, it's a common tale. Many of the people that we've interviewed, they spent some time in church. You know,
Church is great. Yeah, I don't know, but I believe
proving
it all.
ground. It's
I love the music though.
Yeah. Well, you know, it depends on the pastor to see what you can actually get away with, but
Yeah.
that's another story.
Yeah.
So, your songwriting process, you know, everybody talks about how that actually begins and follows through, and everyone has their experience, and it's similar from one song to another song. How do you find the birth of a song comes to you, and how does it come to fruition?
Well, I mean, I think as you all probably know, I really only started writing music about 5 years ago when I started getting into the Philly community of musicians, right? So I moved here probably 8 or 9 years ago and was in an Irish band. And the first song I wrote was for the Irish band because I was living next to Eastern State Penitentiary. And I was like, I need to write a song about this convict that I learned about on the tour, who's the only person to escape and never be recaptured. So that was the first song I wrote. And I think for me, initially, a lot of my songwriting inspiration came from loving Philly and seeing it through the eyes of a newcomer. I realize more and more now that I'm less and less a newcomer and more native-ish. You look at the city so differently, and it's magical, and there's so much history. And so that started me on my writing journey, but probably what's kept it going and now has turned into so many other things is I'm a person who likes to actually be by myself a lot. I walk a lot, and I just meditate on what I'm seeing around me, and it's kind of almost an irresistible impulse to put words to it, you know? So it starts with me walking somewhere and having an idea of a phrase or a sensation, you know?
Yeah.
And then I start to write. Sometimes I come up with the music first, but usually it's words before music. Yeah.
Or simultaneous.
Sometimes simultaneous. I don't know about you, Rusty, but as I play guitar, I'm not as good as a guitarist as you are, but I find that I'm learning to play different styles of guitar, and I'm intentionally trying to write different things each time so I can learn a different way to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we both probably realize that you can't be afraid to experiment. You have to find the wrong notes in order to find out where not to do that again.
And maybe they're not wrong notes, right? That's what they
They're not.
say.
Say that they're not always
Like,
wrong notes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Dan knows that with her improv. I think recently I discovered drop tuning. Oh my goodness. It's just opened up a whole new world to me. And another recent discovery that is turning me on is since I've been living in Kentucky for the last few months, I've been taking lessons sort of the first time really as an adult. And I've been taking lessons from my friend Chris, who's in a band with me in Kentucky, learning Irish rhythm. And when I've started learning rhythm, it's opening up a whole nother way to play.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a really good point that people should take away from that. Like Jan and I used to go to a session at an Irish bar up on South Street, and we'd sit there and we would drink for free, and we would just sit around a table with a couple of fiddles but
Penny whistles. You know, tin
Right.
whistles.
I think I know where that. I used to live over near there. It was like 6th or 7th and South, right?
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, what's
right
the name
next
of
to
that
TLA.
bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no question, and I actually just talked to another guitarist about it, that the role of the guitar player is you're banging out that rhythm.
Your rhythm. You're totally
Banging it out.
rhythm. Yeah.
And don't you even think about trying to play a lead. You don't do that in an Irish session. There's fiddles to do that.
And whistles.
And whistles. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
whistles.
Is
Yeah.
the whistle's tuned differently than the flute, right?
Yeah, well, so a flute is tuned in C, and the whistle's just whatever. Like you have D whistles, and you have C whistles, and you have whatever. So whatever key you're in, they just pull out the whistle for that particular.
Okay. Like us putting a capo on a guitar, they just cheat.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas I put a capo on a guitar with me, and I have to actually remember where all the sharps and flats are.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to do more work. Yeah.
So tell us about your newest album, Rings Around Saturn.
Oh, thank you. Well, I look back like you guys probably do, and I go, that was pre-pandemic. It seems like so long ago.
Oh yeah.
And it was only basically summer, fall of 2019, which was right before the pandemic. But I put out an album that was my first true full-length album of my original music. And I had so much support. Jim Salamone was my producer, engineer, studio, Cambridge Recording. And I think it was a really great product. And, we got some really good radio play, and I was very grateful. And, I'm still playing most of those songs when I get to play live, but I've been writing more since then. So I've already moved on, but Rings Around Saturn is a special album for me.
Sure.
So where would a person find it if they wanted to buy it?
Thank you. I'm so bad at that. God.
Oh, we've been practicing.
This is good. This is helpful. Yeah. So Rings Around Saturn is available on every streaming platform. I would like more followers on Spotify. I'm not doing well on that. I appreciate more followers on YouTube. I could use more there. But you can see the video version of these songs on YouTube. But Spotify is wonderful. And also, I have a merch page on my website, marionhalliday.com. And you can even get a Rings Around Saturn t-shirt, which, if I could just say that my 91-year-old father is a very highly regarded artist, and he designed the graphics for the album, which are on the t-shirt as well.
I saw that. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
To get a copy of that.
Yeah, we definitely will.
That's great. I just want to make the point to all the other artists who are out there listening that we move forward by being liked and being subscribed, and go to Spotify. Go to Go to
YouTube.
YouTube. Help us get into this world,
Yeah,
and the more you help us
it
get involved,
helps.
the more
Yeah.
we're there for you.
I don't know. Every few months, I get like this check for
All right.
$24.48. If it represents how many spins and things, and you sort of go, oh, this is I don't know how anybody makes a living at it, to be honest. It's
Doesn't matter.
really
That's a 30 pack.
horrible. Yeah, it's really horrible. I did have, I think back to pre-pandemic, coming out of that album, I had so many plans for 2020. And one of my goals had been, I'm close to 1,000 Facebook followers, and I was like, oh, you'll knock out 1,000, need to move on to the next level, do the same on YouTube, etc. None of that happened, obviously, last year, but oh well.
I don't know. It was a different world. I mean, it's like being going from one place.
Do you remember I remember my last show, which was late February, and if I had known that was going to be my last show, I would have treasured it more.
So what did you play as a song?
Yes.
This is a newer one. This is Drop D, by the way. This is one of my new experiments. Late on the longest night of the year, in total darkness, you just see the fear. What is the measure of what I have done? 1 year to another, on and on. And how do I greet it, beginning or end? Like an old lover and no longer a friend. What is the measure of what I have done? 1 year to another, on and on. And all I can hope for is a life well lived, that I might treasure the love that I give. No shame in failing so long as I've tried, living in the here and now and true to what's inside, true to what's inside. What is the measure of what I might be? 1 year to another, the mystery, the mystery. Late on the longest night of the year, and out of the darkness the light reappears. The light reappears. The light reappears.
Lovely.
What a beautiful song.
Yeah, that sounded great.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So as we understand, you've started some new collaborative projects. Can you tell us about those?
Thank you for asking. So Meg and Carrie and I met it was only 3 to 4 years ago, but it seems like we've known each other forever. Sometimes you just meet people like that and you instantly. And so we have been doing more and more together. And a few months ago, I mean, it started with me sort of doing sets with them, but just my music, they do their music.
Yeah.
And then I started doing a lot of backing vocals for Megan's music. And then Peter started playing a lot on my stuff. And a few months ago, we said, let's just create a super band. Like, we should just intentionally do it. So they went to Kentucky to visit me in May, and we spent the weekend really working on some stuff and did a show there. And now, starting next week, we're going to do several shows together in Philly and up in New York and in Long Island. And then we're also doing a recording project together where it's called Least of All is a recording studio, and they do vinyl. And it's individual songs where we record them for a fan who's ordered them. They have to pre-order the song. But my band backs Megan, and we do her song for her fans, and she's doing them for mine. It's really fun, and the vinyl part's really interesting. So I've always wanted to do vinyl, and now I guess I am. And it's a live recording. It's a one-time live recording of that song for that person.
Okay, that sounds like an interesting. I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, thanks. Well, it'll be you have to order a song to hear one of your own. So just saying.
Oh, okay.
And you said you were going to be playing in Philly. Do you know when that's going to be?
Yeah, we're playing on Tuesday night. We're doing a concert at the Beach House. Bob Beach has a concert series, and that's in Lansdowne. That's on the website marionhalliday.com.
Okay.
And we're doing a show, part of a concert series Elkins Park has.
Yeah.
It's the Elkins Park concert series, I guess, on Wednesday night. And then Thursday.
Wednesday? Yeah.
Yeah, next day. And then Thursday we go to New York, and Brooklyn is where we're doing the Least of All recording project. And then Saturday we're going to be playing a private house concert in Seacliff, Long Island, at the home of Roger Street Friedman, which he's a wonderful musician. And
So you have a tour bus? Is that how you're doing it?
yeah. Well, and then Jane and I are going to go off our separate way as we head back to Kentucky. My tour bus is my Subaru Outback, but yeah, it's a bus.
We're in a similar situation.
We have found a couple of places. Unfortunately, I can't remember the names right now, but we're playing some little towns on the way back to Kentucky. So it's going to be,
So you're
and
going
we're
on
just
tour
hiking.
then.
Yeah. So wait, do you have accommodation set up? Do you have friends you're going to be sleeping
Well,
with?
we're sort of playing that one by ear. This is a little more loosey-goosey than I'm usually comfortable with, but because the pandemic is still sort of not totally gone, it's been fun because we've been reaching out to some different random people who don't know us from Adam and had some really nice feedback, but it seems like 3 or 4 people wanted us to play the same 1 or 2 nights, and you can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it has to be in the right proximity to where you're going, right? So it's complicated. We're just probably going to find some accommodations on the way
Yeah.
and hope that we break even. I mean, we have to get back to Kentucky.
Yeah.
So might as well make it a nice trip and look at some nature on the way.
Exactly. Well, I just heard of another resource. The movie Nomadland.
Oh yeah.
Woman takes off in her car, and she finds a community of other nomads, and they camp together, and stay together for a while, and then sometimes they move to another location, or some of them do, or so on. But for the traveling musician, it's a place where you can go, or a group you can go to, and be safe, and put your lawn chair out, and you'll be fine, and you won't have to worry about being alone, at least.
Yeah.
So it seems like it might be developing into a resource. And then, of course, if they got a campfire going, then you can bring out your songs,
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe we can sing for our supper and get, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you've done that before. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you eat well and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we always eat well at George's, but
Yeah.
Oh,
George's
definitely. Yeah.
Right.
so what's next for you besides your upcoming tour?
Yeah. So I'll be back in Kentucky. So I've been in Philly. So nice to be back to see you guys and
Oh
other
yeah,
folks in
the same.
Philly for a few weeks. And then after Jane and I finish this little tour back to Kentucky, I'll spend the summer there. And
Mhm.
she and I have this project we've been working on, I mentioned earlier, with this other guitarist who's a really good gypsy jazz, Irish, picker. He's the one who's been giving me the lessons and teaching me rhythm.
Yeah.
We've started a trio with him called the Weeping Pints. And the
Okay.
Weeping Pints is already getting some shows and stuff. It's been great. We
Mhm.
already have a bar that likes us to play there, and so we'll probably play some shows there over the summer. I'm sure we'll line up some other things. Um, and then my next festival right now that I have, I don't know if I can talk about it yet, but it's called the Roots Review, and it's a big festival in Kentucky, and they're going to have some national acts. I'm not sure yet who they are,
Oh,
but that'll be
wow.
in September.
oh,
So I'm excited about that,
sure.
and then I'll be back in Philly in
Yay.
October.
Well, let me just ask you, where is your home?
Wherever I am. And
Yeah.
it's wherever I find the bathroom in the middle of the night. I get confused. I stand up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and I forget where I am. So I'm very lucky because I have family in Louisville and I moved back there last summer during the pandemic because I
Sure.
just really wanted to be near them. And my mom and dad are quite elderly. Well, they probably hate me saying that, but they're 91. You figure out, I think that's pretty old.
Don't worry, they're probably not watching.
No, exactly. But they're doing well, but I wanted to be near them. And I have two sons in the area. I wanted to be near them. So I have a home there.
Yeah.
And then I still have my home here.
Yeah,
And
well,
so
I was going to say, I mean, I think of you very much as being a part of the Melalani experience, and I know that the other Melalaniites, they see you that way as part of our family.
And the Folk
well,
Song
thank you.
Society, too, of
Oh,
course.
absolutely.
Oh, I do. I feel like it is my family. And, I probably am just going to keep dividing my time between both places,
Yeah.
right? I think I do have a day job. And so my day job is here. And
Uh-huh.
so at some point I'll have to start going back in person there. And
Yeah.
October is the time for that. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm encouraged because that's like two people that I've met this and within the last couple of weeks who might have a couch for me if I happen to be.
by the way, I meant to say, if you guys ever do a tour and you want to come,
Yeah.
I am only 2.5 hours max from Nashville. So
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
I was telling
Talk
Michael
about Nashville.
Bronfeld. Michael
Mhm.
Bronfeld posted a really moving post recently about some serious stuff, but referencing, some of the, behaviors that you don't like to see in the South. And I said, and he mentioned Kentucky, and I said, well, you have a friend in Kentucky. Next time you come through Kentucky, you're going to stay with me, and we're going to show you the right part of it.
Yeah.
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 That's very interesting you say that and very topical at the same time, with the
Mhm.
division in the country, and the frustration from your geography and such, and so many people that are so tired of it all.
I know. Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I recognize it's probably difficult for you and a lot of
I mean,
people.
Louisville is a special place,
Yeah,
and I don't want to get political. I think you probably already know where I land on that, but
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
it's not all Mitch McConnell. Let me just put it that way.
Good
There's
to
a
know.
lot.
Yeah,
There's a
because I
lot
was going to
going
go
on.
around it.
Yeah, yeah. People might want to try and go around it, but they really shouldn't because there's a lot going on in Louisville. Culturally, it's very diverse.
Why don't we play another song?
Oh, are we?
This is the right time to play a song.
Yeah.
What was
Okay.
that?
This is the right time to play a song.
It
It is the right
probably
time to
is.
play a song.
So this song, this is a new song that I'm releasing very soon. I'm just finalizing the vocals with Jim Salamone. And it's basically a song about everything I believe. And it's I decided to play it because I looked behind you and I saw that word love. And it's really just about love in the end, right? So. Sink or swim, there's only one choice. Dive in the end. Bitter and sweet, they make life complete. Take both in the end. Hands wasn't a fist or simply persist. It's my choice in the end. No axes to grind, no their side mine. It's my way in the end. Oh, it's my way in the end. My way in the end. The game will run out without any doubt. Can't win in the end. My ups and my downs are nothing profound. It's just life in the end. If I laugh till I cry and I live till I die, that's a good run in the end. Until it's my time, I'll drink some more wine and sing to the end. Oh, I'll sing to the end. I'll sing to the end. Ha! La, 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 la. I'm a flute. La, 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 la. I'll sing to the end. I'll sing to the end. And why are some cursed with only the worst? God knows in the end. We scream and we fight that quiet good night, but can't hide in the end. I'll pray to the last when this life is past for a new turn in the end. And what lies above, I hope that it's love, just love in the end. Oh, it's just love in the end. 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 Just love. Just love. Just love.
Wow.
Yes. A truer statement was never spoken, I have to tell you. We love you so much. I think you know
Oh,
that. And we,
I love you too. Don't get me emotional.
being a part of our community is just a wonderful thing. And
Well, it really is. I actually wrote this before the pandemic, but I was sort of in the middle of recording it with Jim, and then I sort of put it aside for a while because we couldn't get together.
Yeah.
But sometimes you write something and you look at it later and you go, every single word there is like exactly the moment, and it really is just love in the end. I don't know if you see it more clearly. I sure do.
have you seen the love around you as a result of the pandemic?
I
People
do.
seem kinder now.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I think I look at the news and I kind of go, ooh, but when I don't look at the news and I just look in my community,
Yeah.
it is just love. I just see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I wish we could sort of remember that when we watch the world around us. And
Right.
We will. We'll remember it. We'll write songs about it, and then people will have a history of it.
I think that one thing the pandemic did is that it made people realize just what was important and return back to basics on some level.
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
And I
I
like
wrote 2 or 3 songs during the pandemic that are so specific about the pandemic. I probably won't do them much later, but that one I will. What were you going to say, Rusty?
I was going to say, I like to think that this may be self-serving, but I like to think that the Rusty and Jan show has provided some of our community that love to help us get through the last year and to go on together to new adventures.
Well, you're the heartbeat of that whole community in that area.
Oh my God.
I mean, you really are.
Thank you.
Really? Well, I can be the heartbeat as long as Jan knows resuscitation. So
Well, thank you so much for coming on our show,
thank you
Marion.
so much.
Oh,
Dave.
thank you so much for having me.
No, it was such a pleasure, and good luck on your tour.
Yes, absolutely. Will we have to say we knew you when?
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing you all in person when I'm back in town. So.
Sounds great.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, Jan, should we pack up the van if you can?
Well, I hope we've been able to give you some valuable information that can be used to plan a trip or perhaps even a tour.
It's time to go on tour. Do it. Yeah, really. I guess sometime soon we should talk about camping gear.
Or whatever else you, the Rusty and Jan Show audience, would like to discuss.
Yeah.
We really like your feedback. So far, it has been wonderful.
So until then, we have some traveling music written by our good friend, the legendary Terry Rafael.
This is Set Out on the Road.
I set out on the road about 20 years ago. Whether I'll be going back, God only knows. I had a girl and the good life, and left them far behind. Drag around my old six-string and see what I could find. See what ventures I could find. I listened to those country songs on the radio. Then I learned to play 'em, write some of my own. All those feelings bottled up with no place to go. I just picked my bags and my guitar and set out on the road. Set out on the road. We were lovers for so long, guess we lost our touch. She never could depend on me, but never made a fuss. I guess you don't appreciate what you got until it's gone. I just had to get more of the world. I went out on my own. On my own. I headed down the East Coast and I traveled around a while. Met some friends along the way and some made me smile. It's such a rush to know that somewhere down the road a ways, there's a friend who's waiting for me, though I've gone astray. Oh yes, I've gone astray. I play in bars in Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama. You know I love those Blue Ridge Mountains, but I ain't got a plan. If I ever get to New Orleans, maybe I'll turn back for home. going back. Don't know how long I've been gone.